Welcome back, this is RB Sensei. If you like this video at any point, like and comment. It's the only way we'll grow. Now let's get into this ridiculous nonsense.
You really shouldn't.
Something is wrong here.
Girls think that they want to date a high value man until he starts calling you out for not taking responsibility, before he starts holding you accountable, before he has higher standards for you than you have for yourself. Everyone talks about, oh, date a high value man. This is what you do to have to attract a high value man. But I've never heard anyone talk about like actually dating a high value man takes a totally different kind of woman.
And most women who want a high value man aren't those type of women. They wouldn't know what to do with one if they got one. They just want his money and the status that come with standing next to him. It's kind of like with everything. Women want the surface level of everything, but they don't know the day in, the day out, the blood, the sweat, the tears, the sacrifice. Nah, that's icky. Women don't want nothing to do with that. In any area of life, not just dating.
Okay. You see where I'm coming from? You see where I'm coming from?
And it's not even with just like high value men, business suits and $1 million homes and stuff like that. Even with just the average Joe dominant, strong alpha male, he's not going to go for the BS. And yes, it's going to be rules, regulations. You can't do whatever you want, say whatever you want, act however you want, when you want.
I really don't feel any type of desire or like attraction to men in general anymore.
He's going to hold you accountable and he's going to hold you to a standard. And when you don't meet it, if he has true confidence, he's just going to leave you. He's not going to play those games.
It's not for the weak. I have other friends who are dating like very loving, very successful, perfectionist, ambitious men, and it is not for the weak.
The most vicious thing I've ever told an ex.
I told one of my exes, I pray you only have daughters and I pray they only meet men like you. He's had 2 kids so far with the woman that he didn't cheat on me with, are married. They're both daughters, so I'll report back in like 15 years.
Something is wrong here.
Maybe you were the problem, and that's why he's married with kids and he's probably happy. Maybe he treated you bad because he was returning the favor. Maybe you treated him bad in the relationship. Maybe he was tired of getting gaslit. Maybe he was tired of dealing with your narcissism. Yeah, we could use buzzwords too.
Sly son of a bitch.
But instead of self-reflecting and getting some therapy, you would rather wish the worst possible things on this man. How's your life going? Are you going to talk about that? Yeah, I doubt it. I would imagine your life's not going too good if you have plans on stalking this man for the next 15 years. Hopefully all the hard lessons he learned by being in a terrible relationship with you, he can, use those experiences to teach his daughters what not to be.
This comment really gave me the ick, and I feel like I need to talk about it.
Please, for the love of God, do not.
Look, ma'am, you're in your 50s. You're too old to be saying the word ick. Let's read the comment. It says, they don't have a choice. Men don't approach women and they are less co-ed friend groups.
Okay, so this was in response to my advice that women should not use dating apps because inherently dating apps are really not beneficial to women. And for me to explain properly, I want to take you back to a time before dating apps. So children, gather around the smartphones.
I consider myself a teacher, a helper, someone who could possibly inspire people to be better.
What's the craziest thing you've done when you've had a crush on someone?
One time I worked with this guy and he was the cook and I was the food runner, and I would get off, go to Royal Farms, and he would stay and clean for like an hour and a half. But one day he just happened to get off early. Someone let him get off early and we both went to Royal Farms at the same time. So I got it in my head, oh my gosh, he goes to Royal Farms. And he also flirted with me that day. So I was like, okay, I have to be at Royal Farms anytime he's at Royal Farms, obviously. So I would get off work and sit in the parking lot every day that we worked together, waiting for him to pull up to Royal Farms. And then
You see that right there? We can call it mental illness. We can call it stalking. We can call it cringe. But the point that I want to get across is she has 10 dudes probably at that job trying to holler. And at least 3 of them probably are decent guys. But she completely ignores them so she can obsess over the chef. And she's waiting outside for him in her car with no plans with him.
I see you, man, you don't want to be me. But you cannot get my crown. I'm L.O.R.D. I ain't coming down. Really want to do it, so we can air it out.
She's just waiting in the car, hoping to see him. Even if he comes out, what are you going to do? Follow him to whatever, Royal Farms? Does anybody see the problem with this?
Hell yeah.
This has to be a crime in at least 5 states. And the crazy thing is, all the other waitresses probably like him too. So instead of maybe seeing what's up with some of the other 10 guys who like her at the job, she's gonna obsess over the guy who's the most likely to use her and kick her to the fucking curb. And she's gonna be all heartbroken over the guy she stalked. And she's gonna repeat this cycle over and over until the wrinkles start coming in. And then she's gonna become a bitter effiness. We've seen this movie before, fellas. We've seen this movie before. Hey folks, we'll be back to the video in a second. Be sure to like and comment anything under the video. It's the only thing that's going to help us grow and blow this channel up. But you know how tired I get listening to these dingbats? Really, go ahead and support the content by joining the Patreon or the YouTube membership. For low as $5 a month, you get access to 1 or 2 exclusive videos a week, as well as getting access to my videos 1 day early. The YouTube membership is $10 a month for the convenience of not having to leave YouTube, or you could sign up on Patreon or Subscribestar for $5 a month.
Hell no.
Okay guys, I think it's finally time that I introduce you to my boyfriend. I've been keeping it a secret, but I think we're ready to go public. Babe, are you ready? April Fools!
Grow the fuck up.
Okay, I just absolutely lost it on this guy that I just started seeing. And I need you to tell me if I'm in the wrong, because I feel horrible. Bro, it was bad. I've only known this guy for 3 weeks. When we met, I told him specifically that I wasn't looking for anything super serious or super long term.
Oh, what a shocker. A woman with the serpent crawling down her hand as a tattoo isn't looking for anything serious.
Why does that not surprise me?
You gotta pay attention to the signs, man. I mean, if a chick got a snake tattooed on her, look, what else do you want? What more of a blinking red stop sign do you need?
Open your eyes, can't you see?
I wouldn't catch feelings, and then here I am. I'm the worst for that. It's like, he knew that I wanted something casual, but like, bro, like, we were literally hanging out like almost every day. Like, it's only been 3 weeks of knowing him, but I feel like I've known this man for literally months.
I must just be so monumentally naive.
Some unpopular truths about women that they don't want to hear about themselves, but they absolutely need to know. All men aren't bad. Stop generalizing this just because you date men that don't value women. All guys aren't intimidated by you. They probably just don't want to date a bitch. So try being nicer.
Okay, these female influencers, these female male influencers, it's no coincidence that they got their boobs pushed up in the camera. I mean, look, they're just trying to pander to us, fellas. I would respect it more if she had a more respectable outfit on. You know what I mean? She's going to tell you what you want to hear so you can hit her Cash App, PayPal, or whatever. Stay strong, fellas.
Being in your feminine doesn't mean that you only date guys that make at least $400K a year. Stop dating men solely based off their height and how much money they make, and you'll probably have better success. Value personality. Stop demanding that a guy pays for your nails, your makeup, and your hair extensions. They aren't vehicles just to pay for your hobbies, and men hate that stuff anyway.
Look who's talking.
Men do want to spoil women though, but not one who is demanding and a mooch right away on the first date. Men require intimacy in a relationship, and if you aren't giving him that, then you definitely don't get the princess treatment. If you want something in a relationship, speak up and tell him. He's not a mind reader, and you aren't as obvious as you think. He probably stopped texting you back because you're boring, and you don't ask any questions, and you just leave him on red for hours. It's not cute.
Yes, duh.
Put a finger down, crazy girl edition. Put a finger down if you've ever checked a guy's snap score because he wasn't replying to you. Put a finger down if you've ever checked a guy's location because you didn't trust that they were being honest with where they were. Put a finger down if you've ever gotten mad over a guy liking a girl's picture. Put a finger down if you've ever checked their Instagram and who they were following and got mad at them for a girl following them.
But most guys wouldn't care about any of that because you're skinny and you got straight hair and your jugs are jugging. So guys will forget everything you just said and still try to holler at you and still drive, 100 miles to see you for 10 minutes. And you know that. And that's why you can, make a TikTok like this and feel no shame about it whatsoever. It can be cute. I'm terrible, tee-hee. Because she knows she's still going to get all the attention that she's been getting since she was 15. But what are you going to do when you're old and you look like a witch? And this video is still on the internet, keeping you from getting married. But then again, women don't think about long-term future consequences. So never mind.
Hey, bro, not a clue.
Finger down if you've ever went through your boyfriend/girlfriend's phone while they were sleeping. Put a finger down if you've ever drove by your boyfriend/girlfriend's house to make sure they were there. Put a finger down if you've ever went somewhere intentionally knowing somebody would be there. that you wanted to see.
That should be an immediate referral to an insane asylum.
Put a finger down if you've ever texted a homie or one of his family members asking where he was or what he was doing. Put a finger down if you've ever DM'd a girl who followed him or liked one of his pictures, telling her to not mess with your man. Put a finger down if you've ever vandalized some of your ex's property after y'all broke up. Put a finger down if you've ever called the police on your ex. If you put any fingers down, you're probably not crazy.
This town deserves a better class of criminal. And I'm gonna give it to him.
You shouldn't say that about a woman. Why can't you say women are wrong when they're wrong?
You want to be making moves on the street, have no attachments, allow nothing to be in your life that you cannot walk out on in 30 seconds flat.
Okay, first of all, I didn't miss the red flags. I looked at them and thought, damn, that's sexy. And that's my problem.